Welcome to the 14th edition of our Health and Wellbeing newsletter. This month we have a number of different articles, from resilience tips to the benefits of music, and you'll hear updates from our colleagues too. Some colleagues have mentioned feeling anxious and even feeling guilty after they have been out, but that seems really normal. We are now able to do things that we haven't done for quite some time, so it's bound to feel a bit strange, but we're all doing what we can to stay safe with hand sanitising, face masks and social distancing. So let's focus on the things within our control. It's great to hear too that the vaccination centres are currently working through the 30 to 40 age group. Here are some tips to ease you out of lockdown. Meet up with others only when you feel ready. Be open and tell whoever you're meeting if you're feeling anxious and that you'll be wearing a face mask or you'll socially distance. Meet one person at a time to begin with, and meet in an open area rather than a crowded one. Get out and about when you can. Even if you don't feel like it, meeting with others can help combat anxiety. And pace yourself. Don't schedule all your meetups at once. Healthy Eating Week is taking place from the 14th to the 20th of June. So why not take some inspiration this month and get involved in the Healthy Eating Week? The British Nutrition Foundation is supporting the initiative by taking us all on a Find Your Healthier You journey. They are supporting 5 themes across the week. These are: know the facts, information, advice and myth busting; make a healthier choice, tips and tools to make a better choice; plan for success, ways to plan healthier meals and menus; be the chef, how to cook healthier options with links to recipes and ideas; and keep moving, promoting the importance of being active for your health. If you want to find out more about healthy eating, you can access nutrition.org.uk for more information and inspiration. Let's talk about resilience. Resilience is everything you read about in these newsletters, and generally about looking after your well-being. It's about being mindful, and I hope you managed to view the webinar with Martin Stepek, practicing mindfulness and being able to focus and give whatever we are doing our full attention. This underpins our resilience. It's about getting good sleep, exercise, eating well and thinking positively. So let's see how self-aware you are in terms of thinking positively. How often do you hit the pause button and ask yourself what's going on internally? You can start with noticing your thoughts. Are they helpful or unhelpful? And track your emotions. Are you feeling happy, sad, excited, etc.? Why is this and what's going on for you to experience these feelings? And then, what's your reactions to these? Are your behaviours helping or harming? How can you change the thoughts you're experiencing when they aren't helping you in a situation? Here's an example. Maybe you've noticed that you're too revved up. Your fight or flight response is engaged and you're prepared for a battle. But there really is no battle. To stay resilient in that moment, you need to be self-aware. Notice how you're feeling. Calm down and regulate your fight or flight mechanism. Practice your deep breathing. Breathe into your belly for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4 and hold it for 4, and then repeat 4 times. Notice how much calmer you feel. Look to the issue from all perspectives, yours, theirs, and what your best friend would say or think. View it as a challenge. The most resilient people think of their stresses as issues or challenges, not threats. They know that the things they need to change and they constantly look for ways to adapt. They welcome the challenge. Now go forward and face your issues or challenge with no assumptions and with a new sense of positivity and optimism. Did you know that we have people trained to give resilience sessions for your teams? You can email corporateod@pkc.gov.uk to find out more. The music you love can be good for you. I think we've all noticed that music can be a great pick-me-up. Certainly, the comments at Lockdown Lounge every Friday from 12 to 1 testify to that. Music can support our mental health as it helps to soothe, relax us and relieve stress by helping to regulate breathing and reinvigorates the neural connections in the brain by stimulating multiple areas of the brain, aiding blood flow. According to psychologist Victoria Williams, our stress hormones, cortisol, dissolve in the feel-good hormones, the dopamine, when listening to our favourite tunes. If you've used online meditations and mindfulness, you'll notice music is usually played in the background for its calming effects. You may also be familiar with Marconi Union's Weightless track, the most scientifically calming music ever produced, and proven to be more relaxing than a physical massage. 136 million people have listened to it on one online music streaming channel alone. Music is known to help our physical health too. Apparently it helps with travel sickness, and it's been used in pre-op sedatives in the US. However, music is a personal preference, and unlike a vitamin, there is not one tune or genre that works for all, but I'm sure you know which tunes work for you. It's a force for good in our lives for sure. If you'd like to find out more, you can listen to Tom's Service, the listening service on Radio 3, Is Music Good For You? Now, let's hear about our Saints Wellbeing Coaching Group. A new Saints Mental Health Wellbeing Coaching Group is starting on Tuesdays at 6:30pm at the North Inch Community Campus in Perth. These evening sessions are targeting those who may be in employment or studying who have perhaps had mental wellbeing challenges over the last year in particular. Here are the details of the programme. These sessions are running from Tuesday the 11th of May to Tuesday the 27th of July from 6:30 to 7:30pm. It's a 12-week evening block of free weekly football sessions led by UEFA and Scottish FA qualified community trust coaches. It's aimed at adults in employment currently experiencing difficulties with their mental health, and it's open to male and female participants. These are non-competitive sessions and appropriate COVID safeguarding is in place. The sessions will consist of a warm-up, light training drills and non-competitive games. There will be no planned discussion about an individual's mental health at the session, and instead, exercise, a weekly routine with like-minded peers is anticipated to have a positive impact. Football is the focus. Completed forms can be returned to admin@saintsinthecommunity.co.uk. Thank you to David McVie for sharing, and a huge well done to our local team, and also to the Saints Wellbeing Coaching Group who had a royal visit from Prince William last week. The Step Count Challenge finished on the 9th of May with a collective 267,642,186 steps, the equivalent to an amazing 126,725 miles. That's about 5 times the circumference of the Earth. But don't let that stop you from stepping. Walking is simple and free, and one of the easiest ways to stay active. It helps build stamina, burn calories, and makes for a healthier heart. The most motivational Step Count team captain was Megan Campbell, and here's her story. Thanks very much to the Blister sisters for nominating me as the Step Champion. Hoping it means I didn't annoy them too much with my motivational speeches and attempts to get them to walk in the rain. Not sure why they weren't impressed with that idea. I'm a regular walker anyway, but always slow down over winter, so the challenge was well timed to start when the evenings were getting lighter. It really helped to motivate me to go out for walks at least twice daily for some much needed fresh air and occasional sunshine after sitting at a screen all day. I'm ever so slightly competitive, so enjoyed the banter with my colleagues over WhatsApp and Teams. The more steps other people did, the more it spurred me on to do better. I found so many new local walks over the last year, and the challenge has encouraged me to keep exploring. Thanks for that, Megan. Now, it's World Wellbeing Week from the 21st to the 30th of June, and at PKC and the Health and Social Care Partnership, we put importance on wellbeing every week of the year, not just one week. However, an awareness raising week is a great way to highlight it, so keep your eye on the learning programme on the front page of ERIC to see what's on near the time. If you're interested in doing a bit of hiking in Scotland, then check out Sofa to Summit. This is a new online tool to help you to get the most out of hiking and hill walking this spring and summer from Mountaineering Scotland. And a final thought about switching off. How about saying goodbye when you're logging off to mark the end of the day? Some of us check in with good mornings in the Teams chat, so saying goodbye might provide that demarcation to the unconscious within us that I'm done for today, particularly on a Friday evening. For Wellbeing Week, perhaps you could take time in your teams to talk about what's working for you. Now let's hear what our colleagues across PKC and the Health and Social Care Partnership have been up to in support of their wellbeing. Sheena Devlin, Executive Director of Education and Children's Services, told us how she had found the last 4+ months of the national lockdown more of a challenge than the experience of the lockdown last year, due in part to the combination of shorter days and longer nights and the cold weather conspiring to limit the outdoor activity during the working week. Making best use of the weekends was therefore really important for Sheena, who took full advantage of the stunning walks in and around the Perth area. Teams meetings also became a great source of recommendations for televiewing of an evening. The Bridge, The Queen's Gambit, Unforgotten and Schitt's Creek were amongst her favourites, with Line of Duty up there too. Sheena especially enjoyed the Obsessed with Line of Duty podcasts and the debate and speculation with work colleagues almost as much as the programme itself. And in the absence of her usual fix of gigs every month, Sheena has spent time making playlists for herself and her friends and has really enjoyed playing music she hasn't listened to for a while. And the culinary repertoire had been extended slightly by trying out at least one new recipe most weekends. As restrictions have eased, Sheena's boot camp has been back running on the North Inch for the past few weeks, and what a difference that has made to her well-being. Exercising outdoors, coupled with the chat and gossip of fellow boot campers, all followed up on a Saturday morning with bacon rolls and coffee at Keesa's again. That's happiness right there. Sheena also hopes to get back to reading for pleasure, something that she has really struggled to do since March 2020. In the coming days and weeks ahead, Sheena is most looking forward to simply being in the same room, garden or cafe as close family and friends, drinking coffee and gin, eating cake, chatting and laughing. Above all else, Sheena has missed the company of those she loves most. Thanks to Sheena for getting in touch. Nikki Kane told us about taking part in the Maggie's Centre Dundee Run 50 Miles in January challenge. Together with her husband, she ran in excess of 100 miles and completed the challenge well ahead of her deadline with a good few days to spare. Despite the snowy wintry weather experienced, they were determined to just keep going. They raised an amazing £534 in total, thanks to her supporters of friends, family and colleagues. The charity itself had a total of 1,731 participants across the region, and in total raised £234,394, which is just amazing. The whole thing was a perfect excuse to get moving again and to raise some cash for a worthwhile and hard-working charity. Well done to Nikki and her husband. Victoria Watt got in touch to reflect on her experience of the pandemic. She told us, "When lockdown first hit, I suppose, like most of us, I found it a little surreal. I told myself it was a temporary measure and acted on the government's advice. I watched the news every day for word that the situation was perhaps easing, but it became apparent it wasn't, and what's more, I had absolutely no control over what would unfold over the months to come. Being predominantly at home, in the beginning wasn't so hard. I found my own routines. I was swimming in the loch in the morning, and I relished sitting in my garden office in the sunshine. I found time to take breaks and to meditate. I did yoga on the decking and walked the dogs. Life didn't seem so bad. I chatted with friends, family and colleagues online, and we all shared the same concerns and frustrations of the unprecedented situation. Autumn, then winter came, and it didn't end. In fact, Christmas brought with it its own sense of loss. The kids were out of school for home learning, and my idyllic, slower pace of life became chaotic. Working from home in the office when possible made me into a circus act, spinning plates on every appendage available to me, and it was exhausting. I stopped making my morning swims, and the walks became all too familiar, and I missed the company of my friends and loved ones. I couldn't bear to set up another Zoom call or Friday night quiz, and I was just frazzled. I thrive on a sense of consistency, of knowing where I'm at, and this new world was uncertain and contradictory. It had me both frustrated and exhausted in equal measure. I turned off the news and I stopped trying to be a teacher. This is not my calling according to my children. I brought myself back to the beginning and I started to take each day as it came. I woke up and brought a sense of gratitude to my day, trying to find one thing each day that I was grateful for. Although this is something that I've practiced for a long time, its meaning got lost somewhere in the pandemic. Before COVID was even a thing, I had been running guided meditation groups for my team whilst completing my meditation teacher's diploma. This had been well received, and we all felt the benefits of taking the time out to go inward and find some peace and calm in what had usually been a busy day. This was no longer available to us. However, now fully qualified and having set up Karma Soul Sanctuary, which in its infancy, I was presented with a new opportunity to share my meditation practice with others online, and so guided meditations began on the 14th of September 2020, and since then we have met every week. Meditation isn't a New Age concept. It has been practiced since at least the 6th century. There are many forms of meditation, but at the heart of my sessions, I bring our attention to the present moment. For beginners, this way of meditating can be a great support. Being guided allows individuals to follow a journey into finding their inner still. The biggest part is making time to be present. The benefits are varied and range from easing anxiety to lower blood pressure, better sleep, and a sense of overall happiness amongst so many others. I have been humbled to receive emails from our group letting me know that taking this time out for themselves had been incredibly beneficial and has helped to ease the negative emotions and experiences of lockdown, as well as helping them to manage their day with ease. One thing is for certain, COVID exists and the global response to it is ever present out there. However, given the time and space, we can all find some inner peace to help us manage what can feel overwhelming. If you feel you might benefit for some time out, please join us on a Wednesday at 11 AM on Teams. You're more than welcome. Thanks to Vicky for her story. And finally, Mary Willis from the comms team got in touch to tell us what she had been up to over the past wee while. Mary has been enjoying the chance to get out further afield, including an afternoon in the sunshine in Pitlochry, seeing family in Fife, and the pleasure of a coffee at her favourite cafe in Dundee for the first time in over a year. The small things seem to mean so much more now. Picking up knitting again has been a boost for Mary's mental health and is keeping her mum-in-law's head warm, as has catching up with friends from the Perth Drama Club through play readings and categories by Zoom. Mary is looking forward to auditioning for the club's annual pantomime and eventually being able to meet up in person again. Thank you to all our colleagues who got in touch. That's all for this month, but please do check out the Wellbeing page and view the learning programme online. And for more information, you can get in touch with us at corporateod@pkc.gov.uk. Until next time, keep living life well at PKC and the Health and Social Care Partnership.